When I left school, I was in a police cadet. Strangely enough, like because I was from.
Yeah. So, do you want to start off with your name first?
Stephen Smith, mate.
Stephen Smith. Okay, and where did you grow up, Stephen?
In Stoke-on-Trent, mate.
In Stoke.
Born in Stoke, lived here all my life.
Alright, okay, and what was your childhood like growing up?
Normal, I believe. Ups and downs, like most of us.
Yeah, do you want to go into a bit more detail, or?
Normal education, mate. Secondary school, like high school. Little bits of jobs and whatnot, and then the struggles of addiction, mate, to be fair.
Yeah.
Like majority of my adult life, yeah.
What about your parents growing up? Were they both together, or?
Yeah, on and off. But they were always there, even if they were separately. I mean, I still had to. Obviously, I've got two parents.
Yeah.
And I've got an extended family. And the support from them and my friends and their family. So, yeah, quite fortunate, really, I suppose, mate.
Yeah. Okay, and, what are some of your best memories from earlier in your life?
Some holidays. Kids. Holidays. Holidays. Nights out. Some beautiful women and some beautiful kids.
Very nice, very nice. And what kind of work have you done in the past?
Well, when I left school, I was in a police cadet. Strangely enough, like because I was from Mere, which is an anti-police area, rightly so, perhaps shall we say. But I resigned after about 18 months, 2 years, because my mum had a nervous breakdown.
All right, why was that?
My mum and dad, and their issues, which were ongoing throughout my childhood. But anyway, my mum needed me, so I resigned, and that's that. But and then it was bits of jobs, and then addiction, bro.
Okay, so what was the major event, do you reckon, that took you to addiction? Was there a moment in your life that you think?
Yeah, my little brother died.
I'm sorry to hear that.
Yeah, of an overdose. He was 15, I was 21. I felt some responsibility, and it just ruined me, bro, to be fair, like.
Yeah, no, that's terrible. I'm so sorry to hear that. And when did you first experience homelessness?
Not long after I resigned from the police cadet.
Yeah.
I went from one extreme to the other. A good job with that prospects, a good career to addiction and homelessness, mate. Pretty rapid.
That's terrible.
And that's that. To be fair, like, and it's been an ongoing issue. With ups and downs. I've had several jobs. I was a scaffolder for 10 years with the same firm. Up from like about 2005 maybe to 2015, and then I had an aneurysm on my femoral artery caused by injecting in my groin, which I nearly lost my legs. I signed a consent form to take my leg off. I was 25 stone, stuck in my bed for 2 years in a mobility scooter, in a wheelchair. From a fit, strong, healthy man with all loads of money in my own car and in full-time work, to being pushed around in a wheelchair, 25 stone, begging and chop my legs off.
How did you recover from that? How did you get back on your feet?
Slowly, bro.
Slowly.
I had to lose the weight. No, I was on 5 opiates, prescribed opiates, in a mobility scooter, with venous ulcers, and I've slowly come off 5 opiates, got rid of the mobility scooter because I got attacked on it, and
you got attacked?
Yeah.
Can you tell me more about that?
Well, I did have the... Hey, Sam. All right, mate. I had a canopy over the top of this mobility scooter.
Right.
And somebody tried to rob me, 6 lads, but they were stamping all over me, bro. I was like an hamster in a ball. And at that point, I got rid of the scooter because I was vulnerable, really.
Yeah, that sounds very
But
vulnerable.
I turned it round, and it enabled me to slowly start walking a bit further and better.
Yeah.
And
Yeah. What do you think the biggest factors were that led you to where you are today?
bereavement and the availability of drugs.
Yeah. What around this area?
Yeah, everybody I grew up with, my generation, experienced drug use or drug addiction in some way, shape, or form, mainly heroin. Started off with ecstasy, going out weekends, socially using them as a party drug.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, just like sociably, and then heroin.
What,
And
just
that was
like
it.
that? Ecstasy to.
Well, most people needed to come down because you got to go work on Monday.
Yeah.
I mean, so you needed something to bring you down. So therefore, heroin was available, and then the rave scene died, and the heroin continued.
Have you tried heroin yourself?
Yeah, I've been on it 35 years, but
What does that feel like first time?
quite pleasant, to be honest.
Yeah.
But then I used it to get over the death of my brother, and that's when the addiction and my dependency on heroin developed full to that full ball marking.
Yeah.
And injecting, and then you can't get off it. Goes from dabbling to fucking struggling.
It gets you, doesn't it?
Yeah, but that's the same with all drugs, mate. And drugs ruin lives as a rule,
Yeah.
unless administered in the correct manner. And they have to be pharmaceutically, I mean, you can get dirty drugs, you can get clean drugs, but
Yeah.
if it's not used and controlled in the right way, it can become a problem.
Have you ever brought maybe a drug that you wanted and got given something else? Been spiked?
Yeah, I've been spiked, I've been poisoned, I've had all sorts of them. But yeah,
Yeah.
that's dangerous, mate. I've sold drugs, shall we say, like most people,
Yeah.
because in addiction, that's the easiest way to fund your habit.
Yeah.
Unfortunately, I might be incriminating myself.
This won't be going anywhere to the police or anything like that. You have
Well,
no way.
whatever. I'm being honest. That's that. It's part of the cycle, mate. I mean, and I think heroin has calmed down. Monkey dust doing
I
a
hear
lot
a
of
lot
damage
about that.
around here, mate.
Yeah.
But people's public opinion has changed, and it's anti-monkey dust
Yeah.
because it's the damage it's doing, bro. But what's the next one going to be?
Yeah. Now, this is a bit of a personal question, but do you have any friends that have overdosed in the past?
Yeah,
Other than your brothers?
yeah, I've overdosed myself, mate, half a dozen times. I've saved about 15 of my friends' lives when they've overdosed.
Yeah.
I've always got an naloxone there to bring somebody back if they overdose. But I've done, fortunately for me, I've done all my advanced first aid, my life saving, and everything else.
Police training.
Yeah. So I'm in a position to do so. But like years ago, bro, when you rung an ambulance, the police came as well. So people were reluctant to ring an ambulance.
Yeah.
But I've saved my friends' lives when they've overdosed near me or with me. And then when they've overdosed somewhere else, they died.
Yeah.
Because people either haven't got the training or the ability or the desire to save somebody.
Yeah, and the last question I have for you is, what's one thing you think that people get wrong about homeless people or misunderstand?
They don't know the picture or the circumstances of the person at all. People stereotype. Everybody stereotypes. That's human nature.
Yeah.
And you've got to take time to get to know somebody. Anyway, no matter what.
Yeah.
But people haven't got time. But there's a need for support. There isn't any around here, really. Not there's less for men, I'd say. Which, yes, brother. There's less support for men, bro. But like this is why I'm being driven to do what I said about the charity, because I think there's a need for it, mate.
I have a lot of respect for
And I will get a lot out of that. It'll help me stay clean. And I think, fortunately for me, I've got the support and the extended network of family and friends and old bosses and stuff to access it. I mean, and if not, I can approach people and speak to them properly and perhaps obtain things or like urge people to offer support or provide donations or whatever. I'm hoping for the best, though, because it is an issue what needs some support in resolving. Because it ain't no fun seeing your friends and family. And how would you feel if you were my age and you walked past somewhere and seen your son in the doorway?
Yeah, nice. Can't even imagine it, to be honest with you.
But the doorways are being shuttered off, understandably so, because the business owners don't want the mess and the smell and urine and whatnot in their doorways. But there's nowhere for people to sleep. No, there needs to be safe spaces out of town, just a little bit out of town. There's a place down there, bro, which I would access, bro. You know what I mean? I'm tempted to draw a design for a purpose-built rehab, detox, and like homeless facility down there, mate. Because the land's been empty for years. Nobody's doing anything with it. Why not?
I mean, there's loads of empty land.
Do you know what I mean?
Here, isn't there?
I've never been in one rehab place, and I'm 51. I've been on methadone 35 years. Well, I've been off it 4 years now. But I'm sure there's enough people to nod yes, or to like offer their support or speak in support of this issue. Because unless it's resolved, mate, it's going to continue to the next generation and the next generation. But like, do you know what I mean? It's a long way coming, and it's step by step. But I hope I get there. I hope I contribute something to it, bro. So thank you for asking. And these little things, bro, when taken as a whole, get us there. Well done, son. Yeah.
Well, thank you for your time, sir.
Respect, brother. What's your name, yeah?
Tyler.
Smithy, bro.
Smithy.
Safe.
Nice to meet you, man.